Fear is humanity's oldest emotion. And this is its home. Welcome to Asian Terror Tales with Damon. Today's story is Terrifying Wager, submitted by a member of our community. My name is Lin Hui. I graduated just 6 months ago and now work as a clerk in a small company. I share a rented apartment in an old neighborhood on the city's outskirts with my best friend, Xiao Wen. Our salaries aren't high, so we often brainstorm ideas for low-cost thrills like exploring abandoned old parks or checking out newly developed but unfinished buildings. One day during our lunch break, while hiding in the break room, we were discussing a rumor we'd recently heard, about an old villa, abandoned for over a decade and located just 3 stops away from our neighborhood, that was said to be haunted. The story went that a woman was murdered there years ago, and since then, people had reported seeing lights on in the villa's second floor late at night and hearing a woman crying. Our colleague Zhang Jiang, who loves playing pranks and teasing us about being easily scared, overheard us. "Don't just talk about it," he said, munching on an ice pop as he leaned in. "How about you two go to that villa tonight and film a video? If you can record 5 full minutes, I'll give you 1,000 yuan. If you chicken out, you two treat me to a hot pot dinner worth 1,000. Deal? 1,000 yuan. Our eyes lit up. That was enough to cover half a month's rent and buy us both some new clothes. Though nervous, the temptation of the money and our pride pushed us. We exchanged a look and agreed immediately, it's a deal. After work, we rummaged through our things for equipment, an old flashlight, a phone tripod, for filming, and a bottle of water, for courage. Xiao Wen even secretly tucked a fruit knife into her pocket, grabbing my hand and saying, "We'll film for 5 minutes, then run. No lingering." I nodded, my heart racing with a mix of nerves and excitement, my palms sweating. At 10 o'clock that night, we rode our electric scooter toward the villa. The closer we got, the fewer street lights there were, until there were none at all. Only the pale glow of the moonlight remained. The villa was hidden in a patch of overgrown trees, its courtyard wall mostly collapsed, the weeds inside taller than a person. Dew clung to the waist-high grass, soaking our pants. The villa's exterior walls were peeling, revealing red bricks beneath, and the window panes were shattered, the dark openings staring at us like vacant eyes. "Maybe we should go back." Xiao Wen's voice trembled. "We're already here. Think of the 1,000 yuan. I gritted my teeth, grabbed her hand, and trudged through the weeds toward the entrance. The gate was made of 2 rusty iron bars, slightly ajar. Pushing it open produced a sharp, eerie creak that sent shivers down our spines in the quiet night. Entering the first floor, a musty smell of dust and rotting leaves hit us. Thick layers of dust coated the floor, leaving clear footprints with every step, and our footsteps echoed through the empty rooms. The living room held a shabby sofa, its fabric torn and stuffing exposed, covered in cobwebs, abandoned cardboard boxes and clutter piled in the corners, swaying slightly in the wind as if something were hiding within. I started recording on my phone, panning the camera around. "Look, Zhangqiang, we're here. We're not scared." Xiao Wen held the flashlight beside me, its beam dancing in the darkness, illuminating the faded, gray-black patterns on the blurred wallpaper. Finding nothing unusual on the first floor, we mustered our courage and headed for the second floor. The wooden stairs creaked loudly under our weight, as if they might collapse at any moment. Halfway up, we suddenly heard a soft, low crying sound, whimpering, a mournful, pitiful sob that drifted through the empty villa, tightening our chests. "Did you hear that?" I stopped, my voice shaking. "Why, yes." Xiao Wen's flashlight trembled in her hand. "It's coming from the bedroom upstairs. Let's just check it out, film what we need, and run," I said, steeling myself as I pulled her upward. The crying grew louder as we approached the bedroom at the end of the hallway on the second floor. I set up my phone, aiming it at the bedroom door, and gently pushed. It wasn't locked, swinging open with another creak. The room was empty except for a worn-out wooden bed in the center. A figure lay on it, covered by a moldy blanket, only the outline of a woman visible, her hair spread across the pillow. The crying was coming from under the covers. Who's there?" I called out, my voice barely a whisper. The figure didn't respond. Instead, the crying grew louder, more broken, enough to bring tears to one's eyes. Xiao Wen tugged my arm. "We've filmed enough, let's go." Just as I was about to nod, I saw the blanket shift. The woman slowly sat up. Her messy hair covered her face, obscuring her features. Then, she slowly raised a hand and brushed the hair aside. Her face was paper white, devoid of any color, her eyes hollow with no whites, only pitch black pupils, and a black, blood-like fluid trickled from the corners of her mouth. "Ah!" we screamed in unison, turning to flee toward the stairs. My phone and the flashlight fell to the floor, the recording still going. But as we reached the staircase, several wooden planks in the middle suddenly gave way with a loud crash, leaving a dark gap that blocked our escape. Trapped, Xiao Wen and I were backed into a corner, trembling uncontrollably. The female ghost emerged from the bedroom, moving stiffly like a marionette, inching closer step by step. Her crying turned into sharp, piercing wails, and the black fluid from her mouth flowed more heavily. "Stay back!" I screamed, grabbing a wooden stick from the floor and waving it wildly. She drew nearer, and I could feel an icy aura emanating from her, chilling me to the bone. She stretched out her thin, bony hand toward my neck, her nails sharp and black. At that critical moment, a bright light suddenly shone in from the villa's entrance, followed by a shout, "Is anyone in there?" It was the police. The ghost, struck by the light, let out a piercing shriek, her body seeming to burn up as she slowly dissolved into a wisp of black smoke and vanished. I collapsed to the floor, gasping for breath, as Xiao Wen rushed over and hugged me. We sobbed, shaking uncontrollably. Later, we learned that although Zhang Qiang loved pranks, he'd also been worried about us. He had secretly followed us, and when he saw movement in the villa and heard our screams, he quickly called the police. The police told us that a murder had indeed occurred in the villa over a decade ago. A woman was killed by her lover in the second-floor bedroom, her body hidden for a long time before being discovered. The murderer was never caught, and the woman's lingering resentment had trapped her spirit there. Our intrusion had triggered her attachment, and the police's bright light, like a kind of positive energy, had allowed her to find release. The 1,000 yuan bet naturally fell through, and we gave Zhang Qiang an earful. But we didn't feel cheated. We had escaped with our lives. Since then, Xiao Wen and I have never dared to barge into any haunted places again, and we've learned not to be tempted by such too good to be true offers. Sometimes, when I can't sleep at night, the memory of the ghost's hollow eyes and black blood tears sends a chill down my spine. It really goes to show the old sayings are true: greed leads to great loss, and curiosity killed the cat. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the dark. Until next time, when we shall unveil more terrifying tales.